Good morning. This is the Grand Rising Morning Message for Saturday, April 27th, 2024. Second Timothy contains the poignant testimony of the Apostle Paul, who says his life is being poured out like a drink offering, and the time of his death had come. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 6. In verse 5, he says, "But you keep your head in all situations, endure hardship, do the work of an evangelist, discharge all the duties of your ministry." There was no better man than Paul to give advice about endurance under the suffering for the Lord God above all. Paul had been imprisoned, beaten, stoned, shipwrecked, hungry, cold, and destitute. 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verses 23 to 28. In spite of all this, Paul managed to endure the suffering, finish the race, and keep the faith. 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7. And so that's what I want to talk to you about is hardships and how to endure. Hardships come in a variety of ways: temptations, illnesses, death of a loved one, lost jobs, broken relationships, custody battles, divorces, being sued, litigation, even persecution for one's position, one's stance, one's faith. It can be very challenging at times, and this is why Stoicism is very helpful. Stoicism, as a philosophical framework, offers a set of principles and practices that can greatly assist in navigating life's challenges and cultivating personal growth. Here's how it addresses various aspects that may come up for us over time. Number one, enduring life's challenges. Stoicism teaches acceptance of the things we cannot change while focusing our energy on what we can control. This mindset shift helps individuals face adversity with resilience and equanimity. Instead of being consumed by the hardships of life, Stoicism encourages us to view challenges as opportunities for growth and self improvement. Number two, understanding self worth. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of virtue and inner strength over external circumstances or needing validation from others. Don't be a people pleaser. Cultivate virtues such as wisdom, courage, temperance, justice, and you can develop a sense of self worth that is independent of any external factors. This self assurance allows you to navigate life with confidence and integrity. You can stand your ground and stand up for the things you believe in. You do not have to allow yourself to be pushed around. Number three, regulating emotions. Central to Stoic philosophy is the idea of emotional self mastery. Stoics believe that emotions are within our control and that we have the power to choose how we respond to the situations that will provoke our emotions, right? Through practices such as mindfulness, self reflection, meditation, cognitive reframing, yoga, um, um, feng shui, um, Stoicism kind of helps individuals to cultivate emotional resilience and a sort of detachment from destructive or irrational situations and feelings. Establishing hard boundaries. Stoicism encourages individuals to define and uphold their personal boundaries based on their values as well as their principles. By clarifying what is within your control and what is not, as a Stoic, you can establish firm boundaries, protect your well being, and maintain your integrity. This includes setting limits on the demands of others, saying no when necessary, and prioritizing your own needs and values. Number five, using discernment to walk away from bad situations. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of rational judgment and discernment in decision making. By cultivating clarity of thought and objectivity, Stoics can evaluate situations far more effectively and make wise choices that align with their values and goals. This includes knowing when to walk away from toxic patterns, toxic cycles, toxic relationships, harmful environments, or overall situations that are not conducive to your well being or your growth. In summary, Stoicism provides a comprehensive framework for navigating life's challenges with resilience, integrity, and wisdom. By focusing on cultivating your inner strength, your self awareness, as well as your rational judgment, you can harness the power of Stoic philosophy to lead a more fulfilling and virtuous life. I've been through it all myself, you know. I have lost my grandparents, my parents. I have been married and divorced. I have felt like I failed in life. I felt like, maybe some things didn't go well at a certain job. Maybe I didn't get the outcome I wanted out of certain situations. And it can get really, really hard. The sting and the pain of just life not going your way, it's tough because we always talk about manifestation, right? Everybody talks about, well, you can manifest the reality that you want to live in, but still, we exist in a society where there are billions of individuals on this planet. And when we think about that in the long run, we realize that yes, each of us is a co creator with the Most High God for this reality that we're living in. But that's not the be all end all. There's still other people and their wants and their needs and their attempts to co create their own realities. So collectively, the world becomes influenced by some things that you just cannot control. Whether that be natural forces, whether that be others, whether that just be rotten luck. I mean, is there really such thing as rotten luck? I mean, in a way, I think when we came to this planet as people who chose to incarnate here, we agreed to go through certain things, and so it wasn't going to be a cakewalk even from the start because we agreed for it not to be a cakewalk because inevitably, when our souls come here to learn, we want to go through these challenges because these challenges help harden us and toughen us, teach us how to make better choices, wiser decisions, teach us how to better protect ourselves and respect ourselves. We have to be the ones to do it because, inherently, everyone's not going to be Mother Teresa. Everyone's not going to be the kindest person in the world. In fact, that might even be your life at all. You might have never come across a true kind person in your life. Everyone might have been manipulative and scheming. I'm not saying that that's the world out there. I'm just saying it's possible in the realm of possibilities that you may have just had a life that you think, quite frankly, sucks. But unfortunately, I think two things that you really need to do. Number one is you need to focus on clear goals of things that you want to reach that will give you a certain sense of inner reward and inner happiness, because that's where you want to get to, is you want to get to that place where even if things have been tough all day, you have done what you needed to do and you can enjoy the time that you have to yourself. You can enjoy the time you choose to spend with others. And so you have to really think about that because sometimes we set our goals too high. I mean, if you're going to the lottery every day and you're playing numbers, you're like, oh my God, I want to win so bad. You know, you may not, right? Because I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying that maybe that's not part of the story that the creator has intended for you, but it may very well be the chance that you may not be, right? Because the chances of winning are so high that when you actually effectively divide it out, right? We remember math from school. You divide one number by another number, and then it'll produce a fraction, but we can also convert that to a decimal. And so when you think about the chances of winning a big lottery, it's something like 0.00000000000, one, right? And that is a super tiny number, which makes you realize that because that number is so tiny, a lot of mathematicians will say that that number is, for all intents and purposes, zero. It doesn't mean exactly zero because there is, somewhere in there a one, but in terms of percentages, that percentage is just so low that it could be technically rounded down to zero or become negligible enough to be considered zero. And so I guess what I'm getting at is sometimes we have to set more realistic goals about what we can accomplish. And then from there, as we get better and better at it, we can continue to push for better and better things. But if you're basically saying, I won't be happy until I get $10 billion, that may be an unrealistic goal. And the second thing is just that we have to kind of respect ourselves um, always, right? And we have to really, really realize that we have to take accountability for a lot of things too. It's not always about life sucks. It's also about how are you handling life? How are you dealing with life? What are you aggressively doing to get the life you want? If you never have accountability and you always have that victim mentality, you're never going to grow. You're never going to expand. You're just going to be trapped in as a creature of the past, and that's where you don't want to be. You want to be the creature that, I mean, I'm not saying you're a creature, but that's a term or phrase. You want to be that person that is living life in the present on the terms that you want and going forward into a future with bright, optimistic chances because you've done the homework, you've laid the solid foundation, and step by step, you get to maybe not the life that is extraordinary, but at least to a life that can make you happy when you find your own internal happiness through intrinsic rewards, things that inside you that say, you know what, I'm proud of myself, I'm happy where I'm at, I'm proud of the relationships I've formed. I've used better discernment. This is where I want to be, and it's not easy. It's not easy, and considering mental health and depression, people who are already depressed tend to stay depressed unless you find a way to break out of that cycle. That's a biological function, so you need to really think about that as well. That if you feel like your health is compromised, you need to be taking positive steps to figure out how to get out of that before your brain becomes totally rewired to the point where you see no hope. I hope this Grand Rising Morning message for Saturday, April 27th, 2024 has been helpful. I love you all. I wish the very best for you. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Take care.